online real-time processing system is including data collection systems and remote work input system, message exchange system, and transaction data processing system, inquiry response system, time division processing system, computer network system. Our various types of online real-time system. First, data collection system. For example, meter reading of water, electricity, and gas consumption at remote locations. Collection of data such as inventory management and payroll management. Remote work input system is simultaneous transmissions of data and programs from remote locations to a central computer. Message exchange system is like as email and PC communications. Transaction data processing system, that data is input from the terminal to the central computer for immediate processing and transmissions. Inquiry response system is a central computer investigate and response to inquiries from remote locations. Type division processing system can be used by multiple users at the same time. Input programs and data from the terminal. Multiple computers can be shared by multiple users simultaneously in these computer network systems. Now, let's study the process design. We studied about flowchart. Flowchart is to describe the flow of the process from the beginning to end of a process using promised symbols or figures for the purpose of describing a work process. In order to display the state of the system, its components and arrangement order of the functions, and the overall relationship with certain symbols or figures. In order to visually express and logically understand the overall relationship between information processing and functions in the system. To efficiently research and analyze existing systems and process designs for new systems. Flowchart has some roles. For example, it is the basis for programming coding, and it is easy to judge the process of problem handling logically, and it is easy to determine the accuracy, and it is easy to analyze and interrupt problems, and easy to communicate to others. It can be used as a data for storage and maintenance of programs. Flowchart has some kinds of types. Block flowchart is all functions required to achieve the system's purpose and each department in blocks. By connecting the order and relative status of each function and department with a line, it displays the related status as a flow of information, and it is used to grasp the work in a general. Also, system flowchart is a diagram of the entire process of distinguishing and accumulating the process, and it is processed information from data generation in the system. Next type is a process flowchart. This flowchart graphically representation of computer input, processing, and output processes. Flowchart used to inform the operator of the processing process to grasp the overall logical structure of the computer and to calculate the computer usage time. Finally, last type is program flowchart. This is a display all the operation sequence required for data processing, centering on the computer processing part of the system flowchart. This is divided in two types. One is general flowchart, the other is detailed flowchart. A general flowchart that outlines the entire contents of the program and displays the outline of the sequence and contents processed by the computer. But detailed flowchart is created immediately before coding and record details for coding data review, programming recording. Flowchart has some control structures, sequential structure, selection structure, and repeat structure. Sequential structure in which the order of processing proceeds sequentially without branches or repetitions when processing a problem. And selection structure in which flow is branched to each processing part that meets conditions according to certain conditions. Repeat structure is repeat a certain number of processing according to conditions. Straight flowchart. When processing a problem, the processing sequence is straight without any branching or repetition depending on conditions. It progresses step by step from the first start to the last end command. A branchy flowchart. When a condition needs to be inspected and treatment corresponding to the condition needed to be performed. The flow is split into each processing part. It repeats a certain part until the set condition is satisfied, and flows downward when the set condition is met, also called recursive. We will review the standard patterns. The processing pattern of batch process: conversion and sort, merge, matching, correlate, update, extracting or information searching, distribution, generate, report. First pattern is conversion pattern. A conversion between file media computer storage devices. Replacing an identifiable input medium with a recording medium. The contents of tape files are recorded on the disk. This is input media, cards, paper tape, OCR, OMR. Has insert input conversion system. And finally, conversions, arrow wrist, and magnetic tape, magnetic drum, and magnetic discs. And this figure is input conversion, and this is output conversion. Magnetic tape or drum and magnetic disc or optical discs insert output medium, conversion medium. And console displays right arrow wrist. And sort pattern. Processing or resorting the listed data sequentially according to certain criteria. There are ascending and descending sorts. Sort key is an item that specifies the order. This line is before the sort. 2, 8, 6, 9, 7, 5, 1, 4, 10, 11, 정도. After sorting, 1, 2, 3, 4. Merging. Merging is organizing two or more sorted files with the same file format into one file. There are ascending and descending merging. Before the merge. After the merging. correlate. This is creating a file by selecting only the data in the file and data in the comparison files. Input file, comparison file, correlate, and output file. Matching. Matching is a process to check the record order contents of two files by comparing them. Input file, output file, and matchings, and input output file, and checklist. Update pattern. It is to keep correct and up-to-date information at all times by adding, modifying, and deleting data in the master files as a transaction file. Adding, modifying, and deleting data in the master file as a transaction file to always create a master file with the latest information. When adding a new record to an existing file, when modifying a specific item of an existing record, when deleting a record that is no longer needed in the existing files. Update by sequential processing. That means update information written on a new medium. Update by random processing. That is, find the information necessary for the update among the master files, update the contents, and save it again in the same place. Extract pattern. This is a processing that presents specific conditions and extracts them from data file meeting those conditions. Essential functions for information retrieval. Most widely used treatment patterns. Distribution pattern is a format that separates and processed files that satisfy specific conditions and those that don't satisfy the conditions. Upper left side is a distributed file. Upper right side is distribution conditions. Now generate pattern is reading one or more files, transforming them and creating a new file different from the input file. Reporting. When creating a single report, when creating multiple reports, when creating an aggregate tables. This is a single report that is the result of the computer's processing. It is to write multiple reports and count tables as output information. Master file, write a report, and a single report, multiple report, and account tables.